Turning to some breaking news this hour, Canadian icon Catherine O'Hara has died, according to multiple reports. O'Hara is best known for her roles in the classic movie Home Alone and the TV series Schitt's Creek. She was also a member of the Second City cast back in the 1970s and 80s. No cause of death has been revealed. O'Hara was 71 years old. And for the latest on this, let's bring in Chum 104.5's Jamar McNeil. Jamar, it's great to have you with us. Now, we are just getting these early details of Catherine O'Hara's death. What do we know so far?
Well, what we know so far about this terrible news is that her manager and many reputable sources are confirming that she has in fact died. We don't know cause of death yet, but we do know that there are going to be tributes and words from across many nations about Catherine O'Hara. You know, her legacy touches so many points, from not just stage to comedy, sketch comedy, but also film, television, numerous touch points on Catherine O'Hara's legacy, 5 decades of entertainment. And most recently, you know, Schitt's Creek, as we all know, has become a cultural iconic series right here in Canada. The life and legacy of Catherine O'Hara cannot be understated.
Like you mentioned, 5 decades. There are so many families out there where every generation has been able to be entertained by O'Hara. Can you tell us a bit more about the roles that she's really been known for and the impact she's leaving behind?
Absolutely. You know, when you talk about Catherine O'Hara, you're not just talking about improv comedy, you're not just talking about scripted series, you're talking about pretty much everything that we treasure on screen. You know, she started with the SCTV production in '74, rose to prominence from Second City to SCTV, and then started making guest appearances on numerous television shows through the '90s into 2000s. And then we remember her from her iconic role as Delia Deetz in the classic Beetlejuice. Rising into the 90s as the Kate McAllister mother who we look to every single Christmas from Home Alone. And then, of course, The Nightmare Before Christmas, we know her voice as Sally in that beloved stop-motion animation film. So many other pieces of work, but, you know, also the accolades, they do not stop. Primetime Emmy Awards, Golden Globes Awards, Screen Actors Guild Award. She's also got multiple Canadian Screen Awards and was inducted into the Canadian Hall of Fame in 2007.
Wow, so
Excuse me, Canadian Walk of Fame, pardon me.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Home Alone. I'm thinking about every Christmas now. Like you said, it'll be difficult to watch knowing she's not around anymore. And, you know, she is famous around the world. Everyone knows her name, but she started here in Canada. She's a Canadian. Can you tell us more about her roots here?
You know what? Catherine O'Hara's from Toronto, and she started with SCTV, which is known as a Toronto institution, which, you know, is just one of those things we need to think about. When we think about some of the comedians that have graced stage and screen, so many of them came through that institution, Second City, and so many of them come through the city of Toronto. We are a hub of comedians and actors who make it on not just the Canadian stage, but on the world stage. Catherine O'Hara is one of those names synonymous with the city and the country. So this is a major loss, particularly for our city and for our country.
Absolutely. And Jamar, you cover a lot of entertainment. Can you just give us some perspective from your experience, how difficult it is to continue in the industry for 5 decades, to have this kind of run?
This is the best question and the biggest question. How does someone last 5 decades? You know, authenticity, reinventing yourself, staying current, and also just being very consistent. Catherine O'Hara is that, and also being a good person. So many people, from the Eugene Levy's of the world to, you know, you name the people, all have wonderful things to say about Catherine O'Hara. You could Google it right now. You will hear quote after quote after quote of people who just say how much they loved working with Catherine O'Hara. So those are the keys to the kingdom right there. Consistency, being a really good person, and also just talent overall.
Yeah, she was the whole package. I know every time you see Catherine O'Hara on the credits, you know it's going to be a good movie. Jamar McNeil with Chum 104.5. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.